Greetings and welcome to our daily Devo for Monday, January 15th. It's Martin Luther King birthday, Martin Luther King Day today, and a lot of incredible history around that man. Jesus struggles in prayer is our devotion for today. Rather interesting since Saturday's was Jesus's transition prayer. This is Jesus struggles in prayer, and I think you can probably guess what picture is in the passage here for us in Matthew 26, in Mark 14, in Luke 22, in John 18. Another one of those significant moments that all four gospel writers spend some time sharing with us and their take on it. This story incites more fear in me than anything else in the Gospels. A story in which I acutely feel my eternity hanging by a thread. Never before had Jesus looked or spoken like this. His appearance signals extreme emotional and mental distress. Lying face down on the ground, the capillaries on his forehead bursting from the tension to produce a bloody sweat. Jesus knew he was going to die and face punishment for the sins of all people of all time. Our author cites Psalm 75:8 there, Isaiah 51:17, Jeremiah 25:15. And just as he was about to engage the cross, he drops this stunning request. My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me. With all that, it is easy to forget where we are. But the gospel writers won't let us. Jesus is in Gethsemane on the Mount of Olives, a place that plays a vital role in Jesus' struggle in prayer. The 2-mile-long ridge called the Mount of Olives runs just east of the city of Jerusalem, between the holy city and the Judean wilderness. The north part of this ridge provided ideal condition for the ridge's namesake olives. And the name Gethsemane suggests this is an industrial olive grove, a place full of gat sheminim, industrial scale olive crushing presses. Industrial scale, so it was big business there. Jesus' forebear, King David, had walked right past the place when his son Absalom approached Jerusalem with an army intending to usurp the royal throne. Rather than subject the city to siege, David fled east, over the Mount of Olives, and into the trackless folds of the wilderness in 2 Samuel 15. It was the perfect place to hide from those seeking to harm him. David had blazed a trail that Jesus contemplated following. Jesus' struggle in prayer was authentic and enhanced by its setting. When presented with a chance to do what was best for him, Jesus did what was best for us and added, "Yet not as I will, but as you will." Then he returned to the disciples and he said, "Rise, let's go. Here comes my betrayer." I guess if we don't know the rest of the story, we understand our author saying he's looking at that snapshot of Jesus wanting to get out of this. And our eternity does hang in the balance if we don't know the rest of the story. But we can identify there. This is one of those images that when the writer of the Hebrews says we have a high priest who can sympathize with our weaknesses, This is a great snapshot of Jesus going through that. You're asking me to do what, Father? Please, let it pass. I don't want to have to do this. All the pain, all the taking. I came completely holy, and now I leave with the sins of the world pinned to my account. There's no way, there's absolutely no way we can imagine what that must have been like for Jesus as this draws near, and he knows the full story. He understands our weaknesses. He understands that we struggle with decisions, especially as we are called upon to sacrifice. He knows the struggle that we often have with that. I don't know about you, but having this reality of who our Savior is and that he's like us, and that's why he came to earth and took on flesh to be like us. He understands the struggle. He understands the propensity to want to get out of it. What a Savior. What a Savior who would go to that length because the Father loves us. And because the Father loves us, he does too. Blessings to you today on this Monday.